And the question is, Magnifera is a variety, genus, species, or a class? We take an example of Magnifera indica, which is mango. Magnifera is genus and indica is species. Now let's know the meaning of genus. Genus, the first higher category above the species level. It is a group of species which are related and have fewer characters in common as compared to species. So, hence proved, Magnifera is genus. Let's move on to the next question. The basic unit upon which the system of classification are based is species, genus, order, or family. The answer is species. Now, why species? Species occupies a key position in classification and it represents the lowest taxonomic category. A species may have subgroups called subspecies or varieties showing certain distinct features of their own. And the next question, which term can be used for any taxonomic rank? Class, taxon, family, or what? And the answer for this is taxon. Let's understand the meaning of taxon. Taxon is a unit of classification which may represent any level of grouping of organisms based on certain easily observable common characteristics. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following categories possesses least number of related characters? Order, phylum, class, or species? And the answer for this is phylum. Let's know why. Now, the taxonomic categories are divided for phylum, class, order, family, genus, or species. Let's go this way. Phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Let's come back to the question. Possesses least number of related characters, which is obviously phylum. A living organism is unexceptionally differentiated from a non-living structure on the basis of reproduction, growth and movement, interaction with environment or responsiveness. Unexceptionally differentiated from a non-living structure. The answer is reproduction. Now let's know how. Growth and movement, plants. Responsiveness, plants. Interaction with environment, plants. So obviously the option which is left is reproduction, and that is the answer. The statement nothing lives forever yet life continues illustrates the role of embryogenesis, morphogenesis, replication, or reproduction. The answer for this is reproduction. Let's know how. Reproduction is the formation of new individuals of a similar kind. Life arises from pre-existing life. Life arises from pre-existing life, and reproduction is not essential for survival of the individuals. It is required for perpetuation of a population. Dash is the branch of science dealing with identification, nomenclature, and classification of organisms. And the options are morphology, anatomy, eology, or taxonomy? The answer is taxonomy. Let's know how. Taxonomy, taxis is arrangement, and normus is law, which is defined as the science dealing with identification, nomenclature, and classification of organisms. So, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is defined as the science dealing with identification, nomenclature, and classification of organisms. Let's move on to the next question. Select the correctly written botanical or zoological name. Homo sapiens, Panthera tigris, Pisum sativum, Magnifera indica. The answer for this is Panthera tigris. Now let's know why. Why is the answer Panthera tigris? The generic, now which is the genus Panthera? Panthera is the genus and tigris is species. Now the generic epithet starts with a capital letter while the species epithet starts with a small letter. Capital, 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 small, capital, 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 capital. Now, in these three, which is option A, C and D, the genus are written in genus, which is capital, species, all capital, so that is not the answer, and the answer is Panthera tigris, which is rightly written. The third name in trinomial nomenclature is species, subgenus, subspecies, or ecotype. The answer is subgenus. Let's know how. Now, some important rules of binomial nomenclature as given are biological names are either derived from Latin language or are Latinized. The answer is subgenus. Let's move on to the next question. Most names in biological nomenclature of living organisms are taken from which language? Hindi, Latin, German, or French? What do you think, guys? What will be the answer? Yes, you're right. It's Latin. The original scientific names were taken from Latin and Greek languages. New names are now derived either from Latin language or are Latinized. This is because Latin language is dead and therefore it will not change in form of spellings with the passage of time. So the answer is Latin. On to the next question. Carolus Linnaeus belonged to France, Germany, Sweden, or Holland. Now the answer for this is Sweden. How? Carolus Linnaeus was a Swedish naturalist. He was a Swedish naturalist and who is known as the father of taxonomy. This is extremely important. So, hence proved that Carolus Linnaeus belonged to Sweden. The next question is, the main purpose of classification of organisms is to study geography, locate plants and animals, establish relationships amongst organisms, or to study evolution. And the answer for this is establish relationships amongst organisms. Why is the answer this? The objectives and functions of classification includes recognition, development, formulating a scheme, and this, that is establishing relationships amongst organisms, and this is the right answer. Move on to the next question. Plants were given Latin names because it is a simple language, common language, dead language, or none of these. And the option is dead language. I know it's a bit funny, but yeah. Now, why a dead language? Why were genus and species given Latin names? Why? Because Latin language is dead and therefore it will not change in form or spellings with the passage of time, and the answer is dead language. Let's move on to the next question. Select the correct option for biological names. They are binomial, they are descriptive, they are universal, or all of these, and the answer is binomial, descriptive, and also universal, which is option D, all of these. Now let's know why. The scientific names or biological names have a number of advantages over the common names. All known animals, plants, and organisms have been provided with scientific names. This has helped in their easy classification. Therefore, it is universal. Now, why descriptive? Descriptive, the scientific names are universal, being used all over the world, irrespective of the language of the people. Now, why binomial? The scientific names are often either derived from Latin or Latinized. So, the option is all of these. In the binomial system of taxonomy, developed during the 18th century by C. Linnaeus. Now, who is C. Linnaeus? Father of taxonomy. The second worded on organism's biological name represents species. Let's take an example of Panthera, tigris. Panthera is genus, which is first, and tigris is species, which is second. And the question was the second worded an organism's biological name represents. So the answer is species. Now the question is, the internationally recognized biological names were given by Linnaeus in his book Species. Plantarum. The next question is, founder of binomial nomenclature was Linnaeus. This is the most important question, guys. And the next question is, an English naturalist who wrote the book Historia Generalis Plantarum and introduced the word species was John Ray. Let's move on to the next question. Linnean system of classification was based on morphology, ecology, embryology, or cytology, and the answer is morphology. Let's know how. Linnaeus put forward an artificial system of classification which is mainly based upon morphological characters of plants. This was based on morphology, and the question was Linnean's system of classification was based on what? Morphology, and this is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. In the taxonomic hierarchy, families interpolated between kingdom and class, class and order and genus, class and genus. Now the answer is order and genus. Let's know how. Now the taxonomic hierarchy includes 7 obligate categories, which is kingdom, the higher class, then comes phylum, also known as division, and then comes class, order, family, and then genus. The last one is species. Order, genus, interpolated between order and genus. Now let's know the meaning of interpolation. What is interpolation? Things in between of order and genus, and this is the right answer. The next question is, which one of the following has least similar characters? The answer is class. Let's know how. The number of similar characters of categories decreases from lowest rank to highest rank. Highest rank कौन सा होता है? Kingdom. Okay. And the lowest which comes is species. Okay. So it decreases. What decreases? The similar character decreases from highest rank to least rank, that is kingdom and till species. Now out of the given categories, which is family, class, genus, species, the class being the highest category possesses the least characters, so the answer is class. Now the next question is, the ascending or descending arrangement of taxonomic categories is called as taxonomy. Let's understand what is taxonomy. Taxo is arrangement. Nomis is law, which is defined as the science dealing with identification, nomenclature, identification, nomenclature, and the classification of organisms. The answer is taxonomy. The next question is, basic unit or smallest taxon classification is species, kingdom, class, or Glumanaceae. And the answer is species. Let's know how. Species occupies a key position in classification, which represents the lowest lowest taxonomic category? The answer is species. Basic unit is species. This is the right answer. The next question is related genera belong to the same species, variety, family or breed. The answer is family. Let's know how. Family is a taxonomic category which contains one or more related genera. The families are Solanum, Petunia, Atropa, etc. These three, Solanum, Petunia and Atropa, are the examples for family. Now they are distinct from the genera of the related family, which comes to Convolvulus, Ipomia. In the same way, the family Felidia, which includes the genus Panthera of lion, tiger, leopard and many more. So these are the families which Solanum, Petunia, Atropa, Convolvulus, Ipomia and Felidia. So the related genera belong to the same family. Let's move on to the next question. The birds taxonomically represent family, order, class or phylum. The answer is class. Let's know how. The class Aves, birds related to Aves. Aves is a class. Now Aves or birds belongs to the kingdom Animalia and phylum Chordata. So the birds taxonomically represent class. This is the right answer. The next question is genus is a group of similar and related classes, phyla, species or orders. The answer for this is species, and let's know how. A genus is a group or assemblage of related species which resemble one another in certain correlated characters. Okay. Now, for example, Solanum tubosum, which is biological name for potato, batata, and Panthera leo is biological name for Leo, which is Leon. Now the genus, which is genus Panthera, Solanum, these are genus Tuberosum, Leo is species. Now genus is a group of similar related species. Now Solanum, Tuberosum, for example, other examples which can be said is Solanum nigrum. Nigrum is black night shade. Solanum melongena is brinjal. Melongena. And Panthera leo Panthera leo, Panthera onca. Now, what is onca? This is very rarest species, okay? Onca is jaguar. So, these are the examples for species. Species, genus. Genus, a group of similar and related species. Okay? Now, the answer is species. Okay, the next question is, which of the following taxonomic categories includes all the others? Family, order, genus, or species? And the answer is order. And the next question is, two animals belong to the same kingdom but different classes. They may belong to the same phylum, order, division, or species. And the answer is phylum. And the next question is, in a taxonomic hierarchy, genus is interpolated, the things which come in between. Between is kingdom and class, no. Phylum and order, no. Order and species, yes. Family and species, no. Order and species is the answer. Now let's know how. In taxonomic hierarchy, which includes 7 obligate categories, first comes kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Family is mostly not included, so it's like order and species. Order, then genus, and then species. So genus comes between order and species. So this is the right answer. And the next question is, the taxonomic category below the level of family is class, species, phylum, or genus. Now let's see the taxonomic hierarchy, which comes kingdom, then phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Below the level of family, which comes below, is genus. Which is the odd one in the following series? Sapiens, Americana, Rotundus, or Hemidactylus? And the answer is Hemidactylus. Let's know how. Sapiens, Americana, and Rotundus are the specific name, okay? These three are specific names. And the odd one is Hemidactylus. Now why? Wall, lizard, or gecko, it resembles to lizard, is the generic name. Now Sapiens, Americana, Rotundus are the specific names. Which is the odd one out? Hemidactylus. Now why is it odd man out? Hemidactylus is the generic name of gecko or wall lizard, the common lizard which we see on the walls. And the next question is, the suffix oidea is used for tribe, no. Family, no. Class, no. And it's used for subfamily. For tribe, Iya is used. For family, Edea is used. For class, Phyceae or Opsida or A is used. So Oidea is used in subfamily. And the question is, the plants growing in an area surrounded by a geographical or political boundary will be included in fauna, aquatic ecosystem, flora, or terrestrial ecosystem. And the answer for this is flora. Flora, matlab these plants grow in an area surrounded by geographical or political boundaries, which includes flora. And this is the right answer. Let's continue with the next question. Arboretum is a part of botanical gardens where bonsai are made, beautification is done, palms are grown, or big trees are cultivated in the form of forests. And the answer for this is yes. Big trees are cultivated in the form of forests. Let's know how. Now, a botanical garden exclusively growing trees and shrubs. Trees and shrubs is called as arboretum. So the answer for this is big trees are cultivated in the form of forests. So we need trees and shrubs. So in option A, B and C we cannot see the answer. So the option is trees and shrubs, which is big trees and cultivated in the form of forests. And the question is, key is a taxonomical aid used for the identification of organisms. Each statement in key is called couplet, lead, both couplet and lead, or none of these. And the answer for this is lead. Let's know how. Key is a taxonomical aid used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities or dissimilarities. The keys are based on contrasting characters, generally called couplet. Now, it represents a choice made between two opposite options which results in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. Each statement, now the question is, each statement in key is called as what? Key is called as lead. Statement in key is lead. Contrasting characters generally is couplet. Got the difference between couplet and lead? Keys are generally analytic in nature. So the answer is lead. Let's move on to the next question. ICBN is International Code of Biological Naming, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, International Class of Biological Nomenclature, International Classification of Biological Nomenclature. This is extremely important. I stands for international. C stands for code. B stands for botanical. Yes, it's option number B. And N stands for nomenclature. So what is ICBN? ICBN is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature.